And action! That was lame. But now I know where to cut it, so I don't care. Okay, so I gotta make this fast because I tend to go off topic a little bit, and sometimes I tend to elaborate on things I probably should not elaborate on, or I go a bit in more detail than anyone actually cares about. Basically, this is going to be a video of me telling you guys how I got into RWBY.
This will be the day we've waited for. This will be the day we open up the door. Revolution. Hope you're ready for revolution.
I've actually been in this fandom since pretty much the beginning. I've been here for the 4 years since the first trailer was released. The first red trailer at the very, very beginning was released. So I've been here for a while. I've been on Tumblr for 6 years. So 6 years compared to the 4 years of RWBY. So basically the majority of my time on Tumblr has been for RWBY, and I'm pretty sure that's actually where I got most of my followers from. So, you know, this is just a video saying, hey, this is how I got into RWBY for anyone who's interested, because there are some people who have been with me for a very long time, you know, for those 4 years or longer, and who know how I got into RWBY, or those who follow me for RWBY and who've only been following me for about 2 months, or if that. And I just feel like this would be a fun thing to do with Volume 4 coming out in, what, 2 weeks, I think? I want to say 2 weeks. But yeah, so I just thought this would be a really, really fun thing to do. And I know I have a friend, Kiro, who said he'd do a video if I did a video saying how I got into RWBY, because we've been in this fandom for about the same time. So I'm fully expecting a video out of you. And if I will pester you until you make one. I know you said you only might do it, but I'm gonna make sure you do it, because this is gonna be a thing. We're gonna start a thing, okay? So I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible, because I have a tendency to ramble, and I don't want to make this a really, really long video. This is, okay, so basically I was on Tumblr, and I saw a girl, she posted a gift set of the red trailer, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool, and then she posted the trailer, so I watched the trailer, and I'm like, holy shit, this looks really, really nice. I ended up looking it up. It was by Rooster Teeth, it was produced by oh my god, I can't speak. It was produced by Rooster Teeth, and it was created by Monty Ohm, and it was like, oh, Monty Ohm did Dead Fantasy, so we know this is going to be good. And I'm like, I don't know what Dead Fantasy is, so I had to look that up, and I thought it was cool, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely more hyped for this now. I just hope he doesn't stop this, but because it was being produced by a company, I'm like, I know, they're going to keep going with this. And I kind of looked up into Rooster Teeth, but I wasn't really into Rooster Teeth, so I didn't really care. And I was like, I'm just here for the show. So, you know, I was into RWBY. I was waiting for the next episodes, and I was like, okay, so cool. Now I'm gonna wait, you know, for more news and shit. In the meantime, I was very addicted to the music from the red trailer. So, like, actually, as soon as it was released on iTunes, I bought it, and I would play it on repeat. And even before I got it from iTunes, I would just listen to the trailer on repeat, because I love the song that much. So, you know, then the other trailers came out, the white, the black, the yellow. I remember being a little late on the white and black ones. Actually, I think for the white one, I was a whole, like, week and a half late for that one, because I hadn't even realized they had released it. I was like, huh. That's right, that is a thing. That is a thing I was interested in, so I went to go watch the white trailer. It wasn't my favorite, but, you know, what can you do? Then the black and the yellow trailers came out, and I was very, very hyped for those. Especially when, like, you know, they had voice acting in the black trailer, and I'm like, oh, this is getting real now. And, like, you know, actual, like, story, because, you know, like, how she, left Adam on the train, you're like, ooh, there's gonna be something in between those, like something between those two. And then, you know, the yellow trailer, and everyone's trying to figure out, like, oh, who's she looking for? Is she, I remember, this is when I was finally into, like, the RWBY fandom, and I was following a couple people, like, most of the big names, that you know now. I was following a couple people, and I remember them, like, reblogging and, like, making posts saying, like, ah, who's she looking for? Because you can briefly see it on the thing. I remember being there when people were like, oh yeah, she's probably looking for Blake because she looks like her, and, you know, stuff like that. I remember all the crazy fan theories too, from back in the day. I remember when people thought Blake was a vampire. You would not, that sounds crazy now, but I'm telling you, that was a legit theory. It was a very short-lived theory, but I remember there was a theory that Blake was a vampire because of how the song went. And then it quickly changed to oh, it's the Faunus thing, you know, she's like part animal or something like that, but vampire was a legit theory at some point. I also remember another theory where like when we were trying to figure out the fairy tales, like, you know, Ruby and Weiss were obvious. People were still trying to figure out who Blake was. No one could, especially since there were people stuck on the vampire theory. Like, how could you match that up with a fairy tale? And then I remember with Yang, a lot of people were really debating that, especially before the trailer came out. And I remember some common ones I saw were Rapunzel and Cinderella. I don't think anyone considered Goldilocks, but when that came out and he was like Goldilocks, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But anyways, I've been here since all that. I remember being here during Volume 1. I wasn't really heavy into it. It wasn't until after Volume 1 ended that I really got into the fandom. I've been here, like I said, I've been here all this time, but it wasn't until, like, you know, after Volume 1 ended that I was like really like just rushed forward into this fandom. I completely ditched Fairy Tail, which was the one I was currently obsessed with. I completely ditched that. I left it behind me. I don't want to say completely, because I do still pay attention, but I was like, I'm just not even going to really I'm not going to go through that tag anymore. I'm not going to pay attention to y'all. I'm more into RWBY right now. But another thing is just like, I also just want to be like, so that's kind of how I got into RWBY. And then there's a whole 4-year journey basically where I kind of had to step in and out of the fandom. Mostly, sometimes due to personal reasons, sometimes due to new interests coming along. Like, I remember becoming addicted to, I don't want to say addicted, but obsessed with Madoka Magica again. I remember when Miraculous Ladybug came out, and I went into that. I was still into RWBY, but, you know, I went into that mostly. And right now, I'm mostly into Overwatch. I'm still into RWBY, especially now with Volume 4 coming out. But I'm mostly into Overwatch right now. So, I mean, you know, it's been 4 years. My interests are going to drift a little bit. But I've been in RWBY for these past 4 years for the most part. I want to say something, though, that RWBY has really changed my life. For the better, mostly. I want to say, yeah, for the better. I'd say for the better. Especially because, you know, like I said, it was about my junior year of high school that RWBY came out, so I definitely have saying now that I'm a sophomore in college. Holy shit, I'm old. But now that I remember, because I just remember being about like RWBY's age, or no, technically I guess I was about like, you know, Weiss, Blake, and Yang's age when it came out, and now I'm like 20 almost. I'm old. But yeah, so, you know, I just want to say that I've definitely grown some, and, you know, not all of it's due to RWBY, but I would like to say a big chunk of it has been due to RWBY. I will actually say something, though, that may surprise some people, maybe. A lot of people, like, say, like, oh, RWBY changed my life, and it helped me meet friends, which it did for me. I have met, like, some really great people through this fandom. Some of them have come and gone. Some of them have stayed with me for a very long time. Some of them have come in a little later, and I'm now very close to them. I could sit here and name a lot of names, but I'm not, because that would be time consuming. But I want to say that RWBY has definitely impacted me, where I've met some very people who are important to me and I hold very dear to my heart. So I have to thank RWBY for that, for bringing me to these people who I probably would have never met otherwise, because I really do appreciate them. And now I'm getting sappy. So let's move on to the thing that RWBY also impacted my life with. I am going to contribute it to RWBY just because it was kind of what set it off, but I think I would have realized otherwise. And this is going to sound really weird, but RWBY helped me realize I was gay, which is really an odd thing to say. Like I said, it was my junior year. It was about the beginning of my junior year, and I had like, you know, very short-term boyfriends before that. So, and I remember having gay friends, but I never considered the possibility for myself. And I remember just sitting there one day, you know, just like looking at like the wonderful cast of women in RWBY, and, you know, of course you get like attracted to like fictional characters. It's a thing. I sound pathetic, don't I? But you get attracted to fictional characters, and I realized that like I was a bit attracted to some of these fictional characters who were women. And I remember like that was kind of what set it off, and it was like after that I started realizing that girls were a lot prettier than I had previously imagined. I mean, I always thought girls were super pretty, but I was thinking of it in a different, like, I was thinking like I had like put on some like gay glasses, and I'm like, oh shit, that girl's really pretty. And like it was less of a, oh, that girl's really pretty, like she's just really pretty. Like, you know, I aspired to be that pretty one day, but it was like, oh, she's really pretty, and I do aspire to be that pretty one day, but damn if I wouldn't make out with her right now because she's that goddamn gorgeous. So I will say that Ruby was the catalyst to me realizing my gayness. So for those of you who are like, media doesn't make people gay, it does make people gay. It made me gay. No, I'm kidding. I think I've always been gay, actually, because when I talked to some friends, they were like, oh yeah, we already knew. We're just waiting for you to realize it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I've always been gay, and I'm the last one to learn about it. But yeah, so I just, that's another way that RWBY impacted my life. It made me realize I'm gay, and it gave me some new friends who are also gay. Most of them, at least. And yeah, so that's basically how I got into RWBY. That's 2 major ways that it has impacted my life. It's impacted my life in a couple other ways, especially Monty Ohm, God rest his soul. And I really want to thank Monty Ohm, wherever he is right now, for giving me this wonderful series, and to the team of Rooster Teeth for, you know, continuing on even after Monty has passed, and, you know, just continuing this project because I know that's what he would have wanted, and just giving all of us something to appreciate and something to bring us together, because it's really the community is huge, especially for Rooster Teeth, but the RWBY community is huge, and it has its issues, but doesn't every community have its issues? And not to mention, if you just kind of find the little niche of people that you can talk to, everything's okay. And I think I finally, after this 4 long years, I think I finally found my little niche of people that like RWBY, and I can tolerate them, and I think it's just all worked out, and I'm really happy that RWBY I'm really happy I got into RWBY, and I'm really grateful for the ways that it has influenced me over the past few years that I've been with it. And yeah, so that's my story, and I'd really like to hear all of yours. So if you want to do a video like this, you are more than welcome to. Kira, you are doing a video like this because you said you would, and I don't want to be alone in this, so I really think everyone should do something like this. But if you don't